How's it going, everybody? Jeff Slakey here, and I am continuing my candidate conversations, and I'm sitting now with Kathy McDowell, who is running for re-election in the City of Shelton Council position number 2. How you doing?
I'm fine.
Beautiful day here
It's
in
a gorgeous day.
Shelton.
Yeah.
You are running for re-election here, so kind of let's talk a little bit about the last term, and you've been involved with the council now for a little while, and what do you think? How has this last term been for you, and what are you looking forward to hope to get done in the next one?
It's been a good second term for me. We've accomplished quite a bit as a council, working on the city budget and trying to get that balanced. Projects in town, you can see the project on Railroad Avenue, our Western Gateway project. And that was a big one that we did. We're working on just keeping the sewer water treatment plant going, keeping it clean, raising funds for different projects. So it doesn't go fast, but it goes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, that's what they say about the wheels of government. They move slowly, but they move. What are some projects that have started to pique your fancy here as we move into these next couple of years? And also I want to talk to you about the water and sewer rates. I'm hearing a lot of people talk about that in the community.
Well, a project has piqued my fancy.
Yeah.
We got the basketball court done.
Yeah.
That was a big peak, and it's being well used.
Yeah, I noticed.
So that was a great one. The
parking lot.
The housing projects that are coming in.
Yeah.
And what people don't realize is that in order to keep our water and sewer rates down, we have to bring hookups.
Yeah.
And so we have several different housing projects that are kind of in the works.
What's the difference? Can you explain the difference between what's happening up in the Belfair area and the kind of the growth that they have with the housing there, and the seemingly slowness of the housing here?
I couldn't tell you that. It's just that we're a different area.
Okay.
And I'll be honest, I don't know the difference between how fast it's going there and why it's slow. I know it takes money.
Yeah.
And I couldn't answer that right now.
I'm just wondering, because I see I was talking with the superintendent up at North Mason about some of their growth.
Right.
Because of the housing that's come up there and things like that. So then back to Shelton then. What are ways that you're trying to make the housing come around quicker?
Just getting the infrastructure up and running. We cannot have housing projects come in without the infrastructure. We have water, we have no storage.
Right.
That's part of our water issue.
Uh-huh.
Why the rates are going up, because we're going to have to put in these water towers to hold the water. So it's kind of a circle.
Yeah.
If you don't have, I was explaining to someone yesterday that if you don't have the infrastructure ready, then the building can't come in. The building won't come in until the infrastructure is there.
Yeah, it's a cycle.
Right.
And when you talk to your other council members or your state representatives, I mean, they have to know that.
They do.
And so how do we get through this, get this ball moving?
Well, we go out for grants.
Okay.
That's what is a big saver for us. And we've been really good about getting grants for projects.
Yeah.
So, but many of them are matching grants. So we have to have the money there to match the grants.
Right.
But if they can help us get grants for projects, then we can go ahead and go forward.
What else is happening within the city? Some things that you've been proud that you've been part of to accomplish. I know the basketball court and the parking lots are big ones there for you, but internally within the city that folks might not know.
Oh, let's see. Internally, we hired our manager internally.
Yeah, right.
Perfect hire.
Yeah.
So we didn't have to go out and spend our money that we don't have to find a new manager.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
We got the manager from within. Also, we just hired well, we didn't, but Mark hired the police chief.
Yeah.
18 years in the Shelton Police Department. Nice guy, knowledgeable.
Uh-huh.
He's going to do a great job.
What are those types of kind of long-timers, Shelton long-timers mean to the consistency of city government, kind of the even keelness of city government?
Well, they know what they're doing, and when they're around that many years, we know them, so we have confidence in them.
Sure.
Mark is very knowledgeable at managing this city.
Yeah.
And Officer Kostad will be very knowledgeable at handling the city.
What are some of the challenges that you see over the next couple of years, like the trajectory of maybe not just the internal finances of the city, but just the city overall, the trajectory of it?
The way it's going to go?
Yeah.
Future housing. That's their big one. But that's an internal thing, too, because we have to have the money for that.
Right. There was a lot of pushback from some of the community people who talk at the meetings, and some community groups banded together and stuff when you guys were talking about increased housing. So how do you get them on board?
Well, we have to make sure that the project is in the right spot.
Okay.
That project was not going to be in the right spot.
Right.
400 rooftops on that property was not going to work. It would have been great money coming into the city as far as revenue goes. But we have to think of what it does to our city as far as traffic impacts, our schools, our hospital. So, let's do smaller projects. My thing was that let's do small projects, different places in town, different places in the city. Then the impact on the schools and the traffic isn't as large.
Right. Right.
That project was close to a pristine, long time community that just they knew what was coming if we went there.
Right. So you got to try to get them, and that was that Island Lake project, and Island Lake wasn't even in the city limits really, but
right. We have been getting our UGA, so some of our county property we're getting into the city.
Right.
And that's where we can do the housing projects.
Okay.
If those housing projects were outside the city limits, then we wouldn't be getting, they would be hooked up to septic and wells. And so we need the revenue.
So when you're out there talking with folks, either through the campaign or just in your daily life, what are some of the common things you hear about the city of Shelton is great because, or the city of Shelton needs some work on this?
The city of Shelton is great. It's a great community. It's a pretty town. The city of Shelton is not great because it's growing too fast.
Okay.
There's people that want the city to stay small, but if you have a city that stays small, then you have financial issues. We want the city to grow, not explode overnight, but we've been talking about growth now for 20 years.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And when the sewer and the septic, or the sewer system, the plant, water treatment plant, was told by the state, we were told, I think it was probably 20 years, 18, 19 years ago, that we could not build anymore because our sewer would not.
Right.
And water treatment plant. So we had an unfunded mandate. You either get this up to date out of your own pocket,
right,
or you don't have any more building. Well, then you don't have any more building. Businesses can't come in. Houses can't be built.
And that word spreads fast too within those communities.
Yeah.
Well, Shelton's not a place to. Don't even worry about it.
Right. And Shelton is down in a valley, I should say.
Yeah.
Beautiful on the water. but it's not some place that says, let's go to Shelton for the day.
Sure.
You know,
How do we change that?
we bring in more restaurants, more shopping. People want to come.
Uh-huh.
The downtown area, Main Street, Railroad Avenue, get that up and running with shops and restaurants, and people then go, oh, okay, let's go to Shelton for the day and
Yeah.
just eat and walk around.
So what are we at? About 10,000, 12,000 people here?
We're about close to 11,000.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there a number, a population number in your head, or a comparable city that you could say, we could get there and it wouldn't be a major disruption to the current citizens?
I think Port Orchard might be one.
Oh,
You
okay,
know,
yeah.
Go to Port Orchard, and that's a great little town. I do like Belfair. They're bringing some really neat things into Belfair.
Yeah.
So, what was your question again?
Well, just kind of, what would be a size? I was talking to somebody else about, either being Shelton not wanting to be a bedroom community, but not wanting to grow, super fast. So, where's that kind of mid-range, I guess?
I would probably say, population-wise, 12,000, 13,000.
So not much more than where we're at.
Not much more than what, but we have to bring in the right businesses.
Yeah.
And
Somebody else brought it up, something interesting, and I thought of is that, in some other counties or cities, there is perhaps a centralization of the money. People live in the city and there's some pockets of money, and then outside in the county there's little neighborhoods here and there, but it's kind of opposite that. Most people, a lot of folks have more disposable income, perhaps. Maybe they're retirees, but they live outside the city limits.
Right.
And business owners live outside the city limits, but come in every day and do their work in the city.
Right.
And those can have some pretty big impacts.
They can. We're looking at how the B&O tax affects our city.
Yeah.
We like the businesses in town. We would like the owners to live in the city limits. Would be great.
Yeah.
But they have chosen. They proved that they want their business in town.
Yeah.
So,
okay.
yeah, it's good. But I would say Port Orchard right in there. Maybe Port Townsend eventually.
Yeah.
Some really neat things in Port Townsend. Little things that catch people's eyes. Little art stuff and.
But like double the population would be way too much.
Double, yeah. And we could not do that overnight.
No.
But I would say maybe in another 20 years we might have double.
Wow.
We have to just push the UGA out.
Yeah. And when it comes to those conversations with the county, everybody's all nice with each other and everybody plays well.
Pretty much.
Yeah. I'm sure there's conversations that get heated, passionate at times, but everybody's trying to get to the same spot.
I've always said we live in one house. We
Right.
live under one roof, and that's the county roof.
Yeah.
We all need to work together, city and county.
Well, it'll be interesting to see what happens here in the next couple of years. And Kathy McDowell is trying to get your vote again for re-election in City Council Position 2. And, well, thank you, Kathy. It's always good to talk with you.
Thank you, Jeff.